Let's start off with the easy question.
Okay.
For those people who don't know you, who is Josiah?
Josiah is, it's actually the name I was given when I was born, believe it or not. It's a very weird name. It's Hebrew, and it means God is all salvation. And Josiah is literally how would I describe this? I want to be the person that inspires those to break the boundaries between borderlines and cultural division. In a very political way of saying it. It was not political, but I mean, in my music, I sing in Spanglish. That's my main language. And the thing is, I feel like it's my goal to help keep the world accepting each other and bringing down the division between languages and cultures, etc. That's what Josiah is. Breaking the rules.
Absolutely. So if you were going to describe your music, what type of music would you classify your music as?
So my music is a combination of different cultures. Obviously, it's very mixed. I would have to say it's between pop, reggaeton, and moombahton. And moombahton is actually only 10 years old. It's a new genre. Are you familiar with moombahton?
I am not, but you could talk about it.
So moombahton is like reggaeton meets like a little dance hall, tropical, different cultural fusions, including pop, EDM. It's just it's just awesome genre it's new to the scene. It's only 10 years old, and it's like one of the best outlets to creating a more whole world in regards to just mixing cultures and genres.
Wow.
Yeah, I swear by it.
So who are some of your musical artists that influence you personally?
Oh, wow. This is going to be a little left field, but Serge Tankian from System of a Down.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who System of a Down is?
Yes, I do know who System.
Okay. All right. System of a Down. I fell in love with them back in like middle school or something, very, very young. And what I love about them is that they weren't afraid to push their roots and the cultured sounds of their Armenian culture within rock and roll music history. And it sets themselves apart because they have that pride of embracing the places and the roots that they grew from. So that's one of my inspirations.
I'm going to take a wild guess that you've been musically since you are very young, right?
Yeah, before I could ever read or write or even talk, I was making up music. I was making up songs and elaborate musical things. And I remember when I was a kid, me and my parents would take like a road trip to Yosemite or something, like a summer vacation or winter. And they'd be like, Josiah, sing about this coffee cup. And I'm in my little SpongeBob car seat, and I just come up with this most elaborate composition song about this coffee cup. And so I've always known that this is what I'm supposed to do. It's always felt right.
Now, where did you grow up? I think I want to take a wild guess from what I read. It was in the sort of like the South Bay area, Hollister area.
Yeah, so I was born in Texas, Amarillo, Texas, and when I was 3 years old, I moved to the Bay Area. Hollister is, do you know the Bikers movie with Marlon Brando? Oh gosh, what is it called? You know which one I'm talking about, right?
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know
Okay.
the name. Yeah.
So it's a classic movie with Marlon Brando. I'm so sorry for misquoting his name. But our town is famous for the Bikers Rally. It's the biggest Bikers rally in the entire world, and people from all over the country come over for a weekend, and our small little farm town turns into like Sin City for like 48 hours. It's insane.
But that area is not known for music. So how did you end up on this path of life?
I mean, like when I was in kindergarten or first grade, instead of hanging out with kids, I would be next to the Native American yard duty singing her songs. And I've always been doing music. I grew up kind of in the jazz scene, and I would take trips to San Francisco, and then after doing like jazz clubs and stuff in high school, I joined a rock band, and we did really well in the Bay Area, actually. Like Santa Cruz loved us. Santa Cruz is probably the most musically inclined part of the Bay Area because it's actually the heaviest reggae community. So I have a lot of reggae influences in my life that I adore. And you know, it wasn't until I got onto American Idol when I was 16 years old, literally 3 days after I got out of the hospital from an ATV accident. And I went to LA. I got on American Idol, and then since then, I had so many opportunities coming up at that time. I kept making trips back and forth that I ended up moving out here. And I finished high school through a fax machine. Yeah.
Now, obviously, you went through, 2 rounds of American Idol auditions. Were you kind of pleased that you didn't go that much further, or did you kind of wish that, you went all the way through?
Here's the thing. Most people don't know this, but by the time I got to Hell Week, which is like the group rounds, and they start doing it live the next week, following week, you go through 6-7 rounds before then. And when I had gotten into my ATV accident, right, being the crazy person that I was at the time, I had already done 3 auditions. So I already made it pretty far. And the new audition that I was supposed to go 3 days after that accident, that was the filming audition. And so that was the one with the actual judges, but the judges before the judges. So there's the producers of the show. Those are the ones I was going up for. And then the actual filming, which was a couple days later with the celebrity judges. So you go through a lot. That's why I think people get really upset when they don't win or they don't get through. But yeah, it's a lot of process. But I am very grateful that I didn't make it past the level I did. Because if I had done that, like you were saying, I would have been stuck in a contract for 7 years, saying I couldn't write a book or do music live without their consent. There's a lot of things. I mean, so I'm very happy about it. It was a blessing in disguise.
Well, you should also be pleased because I saw your clip, and you have one of the most memorable clips of that the fire alarm actually went off. I mean, I don't know how you kept your composure through that as a 16-year-old. I would have broke down.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the concussion that I was hiding under my hat with the staples in the back of my head. Now, I didn't really know what was going on in general during that time. But, you know, it made it on TV, and I'm very grateful for that. I was like, when it went off, I was like, am I dreaming that? Am I having an out-of-body experience, or is this actually happening? Because I really had a bad concussion because I had hit my head on a cement mixer in the accident. And literally, I had no idea if it was real or not. But then when we started processing, everyone was actually leaving. I'm like, okay, this is a good thing. This is going to be aired. Like, I got some airtime. And so sure enough, they aired it. And that's when the journey really started, really.
So let's talk about that journey. What has changed for you since that experience? Obviously, a lot has changed for you.
Right. Wow. You know, I moved out to LA when I was 17. I had teachers who, I lived in a small town, so they're young, small town person being on American Idol. I got away with more than I would like to admit. I graduated in Los Angeles while working as like an actor, voiceover, whatever I could get my hands on. And I was trying to tackle the pop route, and I had a consultant. His name was Don Gearson, and he was former A&R of like Motown Records, Capitol. He was a legend. He's a guy who brought the Beatles over from like the UK to here. The guy's a legend. May he rest in peace. He died this year. And he started helping me with just the journey. And I started in pop music. I went a little bit into the EDM world, played with the pop music, never felt exactly at home, and I felt like it wasn't resonating with my fans at all. And it wasn't until 2 years ago when I met my partner, my music partner, Sonem, and a couple of other people, when I got the opportunity to be a part of a universal publishing camp for like a Spanish, the official Spanish rendition of Bee Gees catalog. And I'm like, I don't know fluent Spanish. I'm Mexican, and I'm half Jewish, but I don't know fluent Spanish because I didn't grow up around it. And it was kind of something that was very much so purposely pushed to the side so I could blend in a little bit more because the times were a little bit different. And so during this time, I worked my butt off learning Spanish because I'm like, here's an amazing opportunity. I'm not gonna just half. I don't know if I can cuss on here. I'm not gonna. Can I cuss on here?
You could cuss.
Okay, I'm not gonna half-ass it. I was like, because I don't know another word to describe it, you know. And you know, so I learned really, really hard. I taught myself really, really hard. Sonam helped me. We did these songs and they came out incredible. And that's when I finally felt like, okay, here's something I can have a purpose in and also be able to drive people towards, because there's so many Latinas and Latinos in this US community who don't know their culture, don't even know their language, because they've had to kind of like conform to what society expects of them in order to succeed. And I didn't realize how blind I had been until all these doors just kept opening up. The more I embraced my culture, embraced the Latin side of my roots, all these doors kept opening up, and I realized, I'm like, wow, like maybe I looked too brown for the certain music I was doing. Maybe like because I wasn't blue-eyed or blonde hair, maybe I like didn't seem marketable or commercial enough in the pop world. And just being entered into this community has been life-changing. And it took this long journey of just coming from jazz to rock to reality TV show to pop music, and then now into like this Latin Spanglish environment to realize what the purpose of this journey really is.
That is an amazing journey. And now we have to go and talk about your new single here. Introduce that single that you just, premiered this week, right?
Yeah, it just came out this week. Rompela y Calla is literally the start of just this big project that we have so many amazing songs that we're going to be releasing throughout the year. And Rompela y Calla is like a symbol of just being able to put out and be who you want to be, sharing your uniqueness, and also breaking the rules. The words rompela y calla means, in literal translation, it means break it and shut up. But what it actually means is like, you know, break the rules, but be sneaky about it. Be quiet, like very quiet about it. Because throughout history, women who've changed history have had to do it underneath the table a lot. A lot of women, like the first female astronaut or the first person in NASA who was a Black female, I cannot remember her name right now, but she was a programmer for all the some of the software that brought people to the moon.
Yeah, they made a movie about it. Yeah.
What was the movie? Do you remember what it's called?
You know what? I didn't see it, but I do know what you're talking about because it was a group of
yes,
for NASA.
That movie, I did see the movie. It's incredible. And she deserved a movie, you know? And you have Amelia Earhart, you know, you have all these women who did what they wanted to do and achieve in life, but they did it very sneakily. You know, they didn't want to like, hey, I'm a Black woman about to be a part of NASA. I mean, at the time it was so hard, especially for a Black woman in that time, but just women in general have achieved so much by sneaking around and breaking the rules. And it's changed our world today. And that's what the song is about. It's about our community breaking the rules and doing these things to make a better community for the future. Yeah.
But you're going to break the rules and make a lot of sounds, right? That's
Yeah, we're breaking all the rules. We're bringing every essence of every culture into modern day pop music, and we're jumping over people that sometimes like don't want that stuff to be, you know, heard. But we're breaking so many rules, and it's so cool. And the music video was actually shot in Peru, in Lima, Peru, which is really cool. My featured artist, Jason, and Sonam are also Peruvian, and it's just been absolutely amazing working with Peruvians. I love Peruvians, and it's just such a culture-rich place in general, and it was such a blessing to film the video there. And we're really excited. We might film more videos in Lima. I'm not sure.
You know what? Peru is one of my destination places that I want to visit because my goddaughter lives in Ecuador, so.
Really?
And I've been down to Ecuador twice, but I've never been to Peru or Colombia for some unknown reason.
Oh, well, you gotta go. I mean, the food is amazing. I mean, you're definitely gonna come a couple pounds heavier, but you're gonna be so much happier when you come back because the food's insane.
You know what? I love ceviche, but I don't think I could do cuy or anything like that. I don't know if you ever tried cuy. That's like the sort of like the rodent.
Oh, cuy. Oh no,
Yeah.
God, I can't. The little guinea pigs.
Yeah, it's like a guinea pig or something like that.
No. No, don't do it.
So let's talk about your style because a lot of images you portray, you're wearing masks. What's the symbolism of the masks?
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's a really cool question that no one has asked. So the symbolism of the album cover in general, there's a lot of symbolism in the cover, and even in just the artist photos for this project. The mask, I mean, it symbolizes, well, rebellion, obviously. Like when someone's putting a mask on, it's like, okay, you're going to break some sort of rules, right? And it symbolizes the fact that sometimes we have to like not break the system. I don't want to, yeah, system of a down. I really feel like a lot of us after quarantine has happened, especially, this is exactly how we're feeling. And that's what's crazy, because the whole mask idea, including even the mask that people were wearing in the music video, we did that before quarantine. And it symbolizes the fact that like we're waking up as a humankind right now. There's a lot going on in the world, and we're seeing the true colors of many different elements from here and there. And at this point, we have to break some rules. I'm not saying like break into a bank or rough. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying like as a society, we got to push so hard for what we believe in order to come out of this strong. And it's so much more applicable now, especially during quarantine and this whole pandemic. And in the image, you see the mask. It's like breaking the rules, but doing it for a good cause, a little Robin Hood vibes.
I like it.
And then you see the crown, right?
Yeah.
The crown, and you see like I have my tattoo, and there's necklaces in it that also have symbolism. I'm wearing a Pieces of 8 necklace, and it's a big round coin. And the Pieces of 8 necklace is actually a coin from the Cortez Sea, the treasures that sank into the ocean. I'm not even kidding. This is like a real thing. It's from the Sea of Cortez, and the crown and this thing and all this is symbolism to my roots, because I'm Mexicana. I'm also I come from a very long line of people from the Samaniego village of Sonora, Spain, which is the Spanish, we're related to the people who would go back and forth from Mexico to Spain, and the people who would take ships. I'm very passionate about pirate culture, the ocean, and just being a risk taker, going on adventures and just changing the world and the community. And my mother's side, the Spanish side, they actually had a castle or related to dukes from Samaniego, Spain, and they own the Samaniego Castle in the Samaniego village. And I just think it's really cool. And that's where the royal part comes into play, because I want to be like, I don't want to be a queen, like a hierarchy, like a monarchy, like destroying things. I want to be a symbol of something so big that we can be able to change things for the better, you know? Yeah. I went over there.
So many symbolism and Easter eggs. But one of the things that a lot of, if people watch the music video, is they're going to notice the scar on basically the painted scar. I don't know if you could see my scar.
You have one?
I do. I actually have a real one.
Oh yeah, all right, buddy, let's go.
Yeah,
we're brothers right here.
I do actually have a real one, but that was because of a golfing accident.
No way.
When I was young, I stood behind somebody and they took a swing, and so I actually have a skull indentation over here on my eye.
Is it an actual indentation, or is it like a scar?
It's an actual indentation on my skull.
Oh my
if you actually feel my skull, you could actually feel the dent in my skull. So when I watch your music video, it's going, oh wow,
like I resonate to that. Do you want to hear something crazy? I was doing street hockey back in high school, and I got hit by a hockey stick right here. So I get it. Like like never stand behind anybody's sticks when they're about to hit the ball or the puck. But it looks cool. You know, you got a little artist look going on.
Well, you know, to me, I figured that adds personality and character to people, right? But you have a specific meaning behind the scars. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, that's right. So I wear a scar in my music videos, in the picture, even on the mask. The mask has the scar on it. Another Easter egg of symbolism. It means wear your scars proudly. That's literally what it means. Because of the things that have happened to you in the past, and good or bad, that's what makes you who you are today. And that is a beautiful thing, and it makes you a strong person. I mean, we're all warriors wearing our battle scars every day. And instead of having society make us ashamed of those things, we should be proud of it, because it's things that we've overcome. You overcome your golf accident. You know, people who've lost arms have overcome, like people who've had their legs bitten off in the ocean, like by sharks. That's scars that they just conquered that. They literally went face to face to a shark. I mean, why have shame in that?
You know what? You're amazing, because I feel like you have like experience and knowledge of generations already with all the stuff you're talking about.
We've all been through a lot, you know. I feel like everyone has had their many wars and experiences, and everybody's struggles and battles have been different. But regardless, like, we should be able to be strong together in all of that. I don't know. That's just what I believe. I've always just tried to represent that.
That's terrific. So now this single is out. So what's up next for you? Are you going to be working on more singles, an LP and EP? What's going on?
So this is the start. This is just the flint to the flame, and we are going to be. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there you go. We're going to be releasing song after song after song, and it all is a part of this one body of project, the Josiah. We're starting a revolution here. We're changing the world. We're in a crazy time, post-apocalyptic, just making some noise for a good purpose. And we're going to be releasing a song every other month or so, up until April or May. I think that's what we got planned so far.
That is terrific. Well, let me wrap it up with one more thing, because you and I are speaking via Zoom, because obviously everyone knows there's a pandemic going on. But I want to know is, how are you staying sane and creative during times like this?
Wow, that's a really good man. You've asked me some questions today that no one has asked me. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta come up with the answer right now. Okay.
I think that's why a certain publicist wanted me to interview you because there were two other Spanish speaking interviewers, but they said no. Let's have you do it because of your style. So
I love it. I love you, and I love your cat. You guys are awesome. So to answer your question, how have I stayed creative? Well, in Sweden it rains a lot, right?
yes.
I think it's Sweden, yep. And it can be dark for a very long part of the year, of the season, depending on the season. And some of the best music has come out of Sweden. I mean, some of the best writers, the best sounds, because when there is no light, it's your job to create it. And music is all about creating light. And so I feel like there's a lot of amazing music and a lot of creativity flowing because we just want to create life. And sound waves are smaller than atoms. Sound waves make atoms, and atoms is what creates our cups, our bodies, everything around us. So when we're creating sound waves and music, we're literally creating life and energy. And it's just, we're all in this together. We're all stuck in our houses, and we just want to feel that good energy. I mean, if it's not around us, then we'll create it from within us, And that's how I've been staying creative.
You know what? You do what you do best, and obviously you're going to still create all the way through next year. So, hey, congratulations for the single. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and hopefully we get to talk about your next project again, hopefully in the future.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for this interview. It's been fun. I really appreciate all the questions, and I appreciate you having me. It really was awesome.
That's awesome. So next time, all right, Josiah?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.